85 foreign nationals are appearing in the Krugersdorp Magistrates Court. They were arrested over the weekend following a gang rape of 8 women on Thursday. The suspects are being individually processed, mainly facing charges of contravening the Immigration Act. The state is also investigating if any of the group could be linked to the rapes. Prosecutors are asking for a postponement to allow for an identity parade. Well, to unpack what's been going on in that part of the city, in the country, Mogale City Executive Mayor Tyrone Gray joins us now. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for the invite.
So the whole country is shocked about these gang rapes that took place last week. But we're now starting to hear from residents who say that they go through this every day.
It has been a massive challenge in West Village for the larger part of the decade. The issue with West Village is that while it was quite a nice development while the mine was still operational, since the mining house has left, many of those services aren't being attended to. And because the municipality wasn't able to take over the handover properly, there are some issues that need to be addressed, like some areas that the grass is difficult to cut, as well as street lighting in the area.
Do you have resources to do all of this, or what is it that there are no lights and things like this? What's going wrong?
So in that particular area, what has happened is there has been a massive invasion by, let's say, zamazamas or the illicit mining trade. And in often cases, there are also scrapyards which are to blame. South Africa seems to have a large problem with unregulated scrapyards, which therefore puts undue pressure on the copper cabling, which therefore also affects the lighting in the area. So in terms of the solutions going forward, we need more advanced technologies such as LEDs, which are running on solar, so that they're not dependent on copper cabling.
But these are not new solutions. So the question must be, why now? You've known about this problem for a long time.
Well, we have only managed to get our approved budget in. That's effective from the 1st of July. And then the procurement method starts to be able to do the transfer. I can't answer why it wasn't done previously under the previous administration, but we are committed to having more smarter-based technologies, especially with regards to making more safer spaces for our residents.
It doesn't take lights and fancy resources to arrest people that are mining illegally. They've been doing this for a long time. Why has there been no action taken? Now suddenly we've got 85 people arrested overnight.
Well, the police operation was incredibly successful, in due part that I was also on the ground with the forces, and the residents would feed me information so that we could know exactly which are, let's say, the little headquarters of certain nationals in the area, which assist in making a more effective operation. However, we must also caution the fact that the incident, and horrendous and heinous as it is, might not actually be connected to Zamazama specifically. Indeed, those that are in the country illegally need to face the processes. But South Africa, due to the Concord ruling last year in December, also faces a difficulty in terms of a bottleneck in terms of repatriation and deportation.
But people mining illegally, that could have been dealt with long ago.
Yes, it could have been dealt with long ago. It was also an intervention I did request both from national and provincial. Unfortunately, when I saw I wasn't getting any assistance from that structures, we started closing the holes ourselves with TLBs and back actors and backfilling. It's actually a function of the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, and they need to start unlocking more funds in terms of the rehabilitation for distressed mining towns, such as Mogale City, such as Merifong, such as Rand West. However, recently, last month, we did establish the DMCCF, which is the District Mining Crime Combating Forum. And under the stewardship of Major General Fred Kakana, who is the District Commissioner for Police there, we regularly do operations. So going forward, there has been a lot more activity, and Mogale City has fostered a healthy working relationship with the SAPS, which wasn't so much there before.
Citizens don't seem to have much faith in the police in their area. Is this something that you are trying to manage?
Yes, indeed, it definitely is. There are numerous reasons why this faith has been broken. There are allegations of, let's say, corrupt activities within the personnel or complacency when it comes to syndicates such as Zamazamas. And then there's also other issues that the police aren't adequately resourced. So from our side, what we've done is we established the Storm Committee, which is a special grey power committee. It's called that because it has the ability to factor in co-option from members of the public, the private security consultants such as, let's say, Chris de Kock that was just on before me, so that we can have a more holistic resource mobilization, both to assist SAPS and restore their reputation.
In the meantime, yes, you've got these things and you've got to put in your procurement vouchers and things like this. Women are not safe. What can you do to protect them in the meantime?
So what we're doing for this whole week, from every day this day until Friday, we will be using our TLBs to close off as many shafts as we can. The idea is to discourage the activity in the area and then eventually move them out of the entire area completely. And also we will be doing more safety patrols. Also, I must stress the fact that the community is the best placed asset in terms of their own protection, and it's about time that the communities across not only West Village, because this issue is affecting Magaliesburg, Mindelo, Lewisham, Sinklovile, Kagiso. It is a systemic problem we have in Mogale City, and I'm sure other parts of the country as well. So the community needs to start mobilizing and realizing that they themselves are one of the best protection assets they have.
The danger can be, once the communities start policing, is that you start to have kangaroo courts and all sorts of actions that might not be legal.
Yes, we don't want to have a situation of vigilantism because it can escalate to that very quickly. However, structures such as the community policing forums, structured mechanisms where there's a constitution and terms of reference and there's a guide how to properly enact, I think goes a long way in assisting both SAPS, private security, as well as the community themselves.
You were careful to say that these Zamazamas that have been arrested, they may not be linked to the rapes, which might even be more scary if there's other people out there that are not linked to these Zamazamas. What then?
Well, I'm not an SAPS spokesperson, and the investigation is still underway, so I don't want to jeopardize anything by making a statement.
I'm speaking now in terms of crime and management of crime and safety of citizens. Yes,
there is actually a phenomenon that I feel is starting to generate or be created in South Africa, that nefarious individuals are using Zamazamas as scapegoats for committing other crimes.
So, as mayor, what are your citizens telling you about other issues apart from the rapes? What else is going on that you have to deal with?
The entire illicit mining industry, if we could call it that, is highly syndicated, organized and well-resourced. There are even rosters and timetables of when weapons are rented out with cachets. Wow. There's a certain individual who's like the ESCOM guy, which controls the illegal mining collections for their pandukas, so they require a little bit of energy illegally tapped in so that they can run the little rock crushers. There's these high impact metal balls inside of them that require massive amounts of engineering that aren't available to the public. How do they procure these things? And then also Rand Water's pipelines are getting severely damaged. We are losing millions and millions and millions of litres of water. So it does take a holistic, coordinated effort from all three spheres of government if we want to stem this tide.
The mine companies that have left these holes, could they not be brought to account? Because they really should close these things properly.
And that is one of the mandates of the DMCCF, the District Combating Crime Forum I mentioned earlier. We have partnered with many of the mining houses such as Harmony and Amache, and then we will be tapping into their social responsibility fund to do many of these things, including assisting with PPE for patrollers, including having contingency plans after the mine closes so that it's not just a derelict dump but actually a community asset such as perhaps an agri-business hub or something.
Executive Mayor Tyrone Gray, thanks very much indeed for joining us, and we certainly wish you the best in terms of turning things around there, and finding these people that committed these crimes and many others that haven't been reported as much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.